Hello and welcome to Riffle Shuffle and Roll. My name is Mark, and today I'm going to teach you how to play Three Hags. This is a shedding climbing game of my design that uses a modified 52 card deck. So I'm going to take you through a tutorial on how to play this for both 2 players and 3 players. We'll do a really detailed walkthrough of all the different combo types, but if that's not enough, I do have a printable rule sheet and reference card that you can access and print for free. All right, let's dive in and learn how to play Three Hags. To set up for a 3 player game, you are going to shuffle the deck and then deal out 13 cards to each player. That's the entire deck. The player left of the dealer will get to lead the first discard pile, and they may begin the discard pile with any combo type that they choose. To set up the game for 3 players, you're going to shuffle the 39 card deck and then deal out all of the cards evenly. Each player will have 13 cards. The player left of the dealer gets to begin the first discard pile, and they may do so with any combo type that they choose. So in order to play this game, you have to understand the combo types and how they work. So let's dive into that, and then we'll come back and just play through an example round. In order to play 3 hags, you will need aces up through kings and 3 suits: spades, hearts, and clubs. As you can see, the ranking structure for the 3 hags deck is unique. At the very bottom, we have 3 character cards. Queens are hags, jacks are brooms, and kings are imps. These all have special abilities that I'll talk about here in a little bit. Above them, we have the number cards, ace through 10. As you can see, this deck is also structured by suit. So let's go ahead and break it down, talk about the special character cards, and how cards are actually ranked by their suit. So not only is the deck ranked queens low up through 10s high, but within each rank, we have a suit ranking. That also helps determine their strength when we're playing combos to the discard pile. So, for example, within the aces, the ace of spades is the lowest ace, the ace of hearts is the middle, and the ace of clubs is the highest. And I use this ranking structure because in my mind, the ace has a single point, so it's 1. The heart has 2 little humps, that's 2. And the clubs have 3 little circles, that's 3. So we go 1, 2, 3, weakest to strongest. So when we're playing combos, not only will the combo's power be determined by the rank of the card, but it will also be determined by the suit of the card. Now let's talk about our character cards, and let's get into some combos. The first type of combo is called a onesie, and it is a single card. In order to beat it, you just simply play a single card of a higher value, whether by suit or by rank. Character cards have no special powers within the onesie combo. So the queen is the very lowest, the queen of spades is the very lowest, and it can only be beaten by the queen of hearts or better. Of course, you do not have to stay within the same rank. You can move up to a completely different rank. So the queen of hearts would have to be beat by the queen of clubs or better. Of course, a player could jump straight to brooms, which is the second lowest card type. This would have to be beaten by a jack of hearts or better. And of course, from there, a player could jump straight to, let's say, a 7 of hearts, which needs to be beaten by a 7 of clubs or better. And the pile can continue until either everybody passes and the last person who played sweeps it, or somebody plays the 10 of clubs. Within the onesie combo, the 10 of clubs is the highest ranking card, so whoever plays that card automatically sweeps the pile and begins a new one. The next type of combo that could be used to begin a discard pile is called a twosie. And a twosie is simply 2 cards of the same rank. And in order to continue the discard pile, you would have to play a twosie of a higher rank. So 2 queens makes the lowest twosie possible, which would have to be beaten by 2 jacks or better. And then from there, you could go 2 kings or better. And then 2 twos or better. And then 3s and so on. You could jump from 3s to 5. Again, you do not have to go in perfect order as long as the twosie you play is higher. Within the twosie combo, do we start to see some special powers on combos? So imps are mischievous shapeshifters. They are wild within their suit. So kings can be any number you need within their suit as long as they're being played in a combo with other number cards. So this, for example, would be a twosy of 2 8s, the 8 of clubs, and the 8 of spades. Once this is played, the next person would have to play a twosy of 9s or better. Now, the Imps' powers are limited. They still have to follow the rules of the deck. So, for example, this twosy would be illegal. The king of clubs cannot represent the 8 of clubs because it's already within the combo. You would have to play it with a different suited 8. The most powerful twosy is a special combo called a flyer. And that would be the hag and the broom, the queen and the jack of the same suit. Whoever plays a flyer immediately sweeps the discard pile and begins a new one. The final combo type is called a threesy, and it is made up of 3 cards. And then within the threesy combo, there is a ranking of combo types. So the very basic threesy is a set, and that's 3 of a kind. And 3 jacks make up the lowest threesy set possible. From there, you would have to play 3 kings, or 3 aces, or 3 2s, and so on. So the next player could play 3 kings, and the next player could play 3 2s, 3 3s, and so on, 3 5s. You don't have to play in sequential order, remember, and so on until everybody passes or the pile is swept. So within the threesy set, you can use kings as wild cards to be the number that you need. So if somebody played 3 2s, the next player could jump it up to 3 5s using a king as a wild card for that suit. So we'd have a 5 of spades, 5 of hearts, and a 5 of clubs. And then the next player could jump up to 6s or better. And you are allowed to have more than one imp or king in your combo. So here's a threesy of 5s, 5 of spades, 5 of clubs, 5 of hearts. Again, you cannot have a king of the same suit as the number in that combo. So here the next threesy would have to be of 6s or better. So if the discard pile is started with a set of 2s, you can continue that pile with a higher set, so a set of 3s, or you can move on to the next powerful threesy, which is called a run. A run is 3 cards of the same suit in sequential order. Runs are higher than sets, so we can jump from a set to a run. In order to beat a run, you either have to play a higher ranking run in the same suit or jump up to a higher ranking suit. So this 4, 5, and 6 of hearts could be beaten by a 7, 8, 9 of hearts or an 8, 9, 10 of hearts, or a player could jump up to the next highest suit, which would be clubs, and they could play any run within that suit. So this 3, 4, 5 of clubs is higher ranking than the 4, 5, 6 of hearts. Then from there, a player would have to play a higher numbered run in that suit because there is no suit higher than clubs. And of course, within the runs, you can use the kings as whatever number you need to help with that run. So here we would have a 3, 4, 5. I mean, you could also play it as like a 2, 3, 4. It just has to be the same suited king as the rest of the run. Now, finally, our third type of combo here within the threesy is a special one made up of the 3 hags. This is called a coven. It is the highest ranking threesy. As soon as it is played, the discard pile is swept, and that player begins a new one. Okay, so we'll start with the player at the bottom of the screen, and they are going to begin the discard pile with a twosy of 3s. So the next player can either play a higher ranking twosy or they can pass. Well, they've got a twosy of 8s, and they're going to go ahead and play it. So they add that twosy to the pile. The next player has a twosy of 7s. They do not have any twosy high enough, so they say pass. So we come back down here to the player at the bottom of the screen. So our player down here at the bottom of the screen does not have any higher number cards. They can't play this twosy of 10s with the king because the king of clubs is the same suit. So that would be an illegal twosy, an illegal use of the imp, but they do have a flyer. So they're going to go ahead and play that now. They play this twosy. That automatically sweeps the discard pile, and they get to begin the next one. The cards that are swept away are just placed off to the side. So now that player who swept the pile gets to begin the next discard pile. And they're going to go ahead and just throw out a onesie of the jack. The next player is going to play a higher onesie using the ace of clubs. So the next player would have to play a 2 or better. They are going to go ahead and play their 2 of hearts. And then we come back down here to the bottom of the screen. They're going to save that twosy of 4s just in case. They'll play their 5. Next player will go ahead and play their 6 to the pile. And then we'll keep going around here. They are going to go ahead and jump to their single 9. Ooh, this player had a flyer that they could have played to sweep that pile. That's okay. It might come in handy here later. They play their 9. This player will, again, sweep the pile. They play the 10 of clubs. That's the highest onesie possible. So they sweep the pile and begin the next one. Ooh, they're running out of options here. So they are going to, let's see what happens here. They'll play out their twosy of 4s. And the next player will add a couple wild cards here. They could save these 9s. Okay, so they could make a 3Z with this king. Okay, yeah, here's what they're going to do. They are going to go ahead. Ooh, they're going to go ahead and play this twosy of 10s. They think they're going to be able to end up discard pile right here because there are no other twosies of 10s available. So, however, the next player has a flyer. Boom. That sweeps the pile. So this player now has control of beginning the next discard pile. They are going to do that with, ooh, they're going to throw out a 3Z. They're going to go 5, 6, 7. And another 3Z up their belt here. So 5, 6, 7. Player down here does not have a 3Z. They have to pass. This player, though. Oh, wow. So, okay, so this was a run. A run is higher than a set. This player here cannot form a higher ranking run, and they don't have a coven. So they have to pass. So everybody passed. This player gets to sweep the discard pile and go again. They're going to do it again. They're going to throw out their 3Z, 5, 6, 7. This player passes. This player passes. So they sweep the pile. Now they got rid of a lot of cards, but did they hurt themselves in the long run? Which I think you will see they did. So they're going to go ahead and get rid of their hag. And this player is going to keep that king for now. They play out an ace. And this player plays out a 4. So this player has to pass. They can't beat the 4. This player is going to jump to an 8. And this player will go ahead and play that 9 of clubs, knowing that now that's the highest single out there because all the 10s have been played. This player passes. This player passes. They sweep the pile. Now they're in a good position to play some twosies here. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to play this twosy of 2s. This player has to pass. This player plays a twosy of 7s using the king of clubs and the 7 of spades. So it's a twosy of 7s. They have just emptied their hand. They win the round. So the round comes to an end, and it's time to tally up your score. So the person who emptied their hand for the round earns points based on the cards remaining in their opponent's hands. For this game, any hags remaining are worth 20 points each. Brooms are worth 15 points each. Kings are worth 10 points each. And then all number cards are worth 5 points each. So for this round, we would have 10, 20, 25, 30, 35 points to the winner. There's also what's called the Hag bonus. If a player is able to empty their hand by playing Hags to the discard pile, so that could be a onesie, a twosie, or a coven, that player earns a 20-point bonus for each Hag they play. So if they empty their hand by playing a single Hag, they earn an extra 20 points. If they empty their hand by playing a twosie of Hags, they get 40 points. And if they end the round by playing a coven, emptying their hand, they get an extra 60 points. After the score has been tallied for the round, collect all the cards, the deal passes left, and you will continue playing rounds until somebody reaches a score of 150 points. First player to do that wins the game. All right, now let's get into a two-player example. To set up for a two-player game, again, you determine a dealer, they shuffle the deck, and they deal 13 cards to each player. The remaining 13 cards forms a draw pile, so there will be drawing in the two-player version. The game starts out the same. The non-dealer leads the first discard pile, and they can play any combo type from their hand. We'll have the bottom of the screen here start the round. So they are going to go ahead and start out with, they're going to play a big one right off the bat. They are going to play 3 nines, so a threesie of nines. But after a player plays to the discard pile, or if they pass, they draw a card. The player at the top of the screen does not have a threesie that they can add to the pile, so they say pass, and they draw a card. So our player at the bottom of the screen sweeps the pile away and begins a new one. And play like that continues. Eventually, the draw pile will run empty. Once the draw pile runs empty, players simply do not draw, and they continue play until one player empties their hand. Scoring is the same, except that the first player to reach 75 points wins the game. And that's how to play Three Hags. If you have any questions about this game, or you have a game you'd like to see a tutorial for, be sure to let me know down in the comments. If you found this video helpful or enjoyable, the best way you can let me know is to subscribe, ring the bell, give this video a thumbs up, and of course, comments down below always help. If you'd like to check out more of my games, you can head over to riffleshuffleandroll.com. Link down in the description. I've also got videos for those games right here on the channel under the new games list. I've got a playlist of other card games for you right here beside my head. And until next time, keep on playing.